Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to bake an 18th birthday novelty cricket cake. I can never resist the temptation to use special occasions to make extra special bakes. And so as my brother turns 18 this year, I decided to make him a cricket cake. To accompany the recipe is a selection of songs about cakes and birthdays. And you can read the recipe in full on my blog at www.englishsingingbaker.wordpress.com, along with a few extra photos. Before we get baking, let's make sure we have everything together. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you drop me a letter, I'd have hired a band, grandest band in the land. How'd you drop me a letter, I'd have hired a band, spread the welcome mat for you. Oh, I don't know where you came from, 'cause I don't know where you've been, but it really doesn't matter. Grab your chair and fill your platter and dig, dig, dig right in. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, hired a band, goodness sake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Now we've got everything we need, let's get baking. First, make a start on the cake. Preheat the oven to 160 degrees centigrade and prepare an 8.5 inch, 20 centimetre square cake tin by greasing it with butter. Then, line each of the 4 sides with 3 layers of greaseproof paper and line the bottom with a rough square. Cut up the butter into large chunks and put in a small saucepan. Melt it gently over a low heat and pour into a small bowl. Leave to one side to cool. Put all the prepared dried fruit into a large mixing bowl and add to it the orange juice, brown sugar, grated apple and honey. Give it a big stir with a wooden spoon to combine. Beat the eggs together in a small bowl and add to the mixture and beat again before adding the cooled butter. Finally, add in the flour and spices before giving it a last big stir. When the mixture is well combined, spoon carefully into the prepared tin and level out by gently shaking and pressing the mix into the sides of the tin to ensure that your finished cake comes out an even shape. Bake the cake in the middle of the preheated oven for 2 to 3 hours. Oven temperatures vary, so keep an eye on the cake until a skewer inserted in the middle comes out clean and the surface of the cake is a deep golden brown. When your cake is baked, take it out of the oven and leave to cool completely in the tin till the cake is stone cold. It is important not to decorate your cake before it is cold, as the icing will start slipping off and will spoil all the work you put into it. Come you all, kick up the cakewalk, 'cause we got cake. Lady Luck finally learned to bake. Who said bread, kick up the cakewalk, 'cause we got pie. Here and now, not in the by and by. Say goodbye to trouble and famine, it's time to laugh. Laugh boys, you can examine kick up the cakewalk, we gotta break. Everyone who is awake, walk the cakewalk. 'Cause we all got cake, 'cause we all got cake, 'cause we all got cake. When the cake is completely cool, Warm half a jar of apricot jam in a small saucepan. When it is slightly runny, put it through a sieve to make it extra smooth, and then roll out the marzipan. Dust a clean surface with icing sugar and roll the white marzipan to a rough size of your cake. You can always check this by hovering the cake over the marzipan and seeing how much excess there is around the cake. When the marzipan is rolled out, take the cake out of the tin and its paper. Turn it upside down on a flat surface, such as a baking tray, and brush liberally with sieved apricot jam. Carefully place the marzipan on top of the cake and smooth down the sides to stick. Cut off the excess around the edge of the cake to make a sharp finish, before leaving to dry, preferably overnight, to seal the cake. While the cake is drying out, set on to the job of creating the finishing touches to your cake out of fondant. It's up to you what you decide to make, but I made a series of cricket-related paraphernalia, including a couple of bats, balls, and a cartoon version of my brother, as well as a scoreboard made out of black card.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. On this happy day, we're gathered here to say, have a happy day, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
The next day, when you have the cake and decorations all ready, finish the cake by covering in fondant icing and adding your finishing touches. Like the marzipan, roll out the fondant icing on a clean surface covered with icing sugar to stop it from sticking, and roll it out bigger than the cake itself. Brush the cake with recently boiled water and lay the fondant icing carefully over it to cover it. Use a smoother or your hands to make the cake smooth all over and get rid of any air bubbles. To make your cricket pitch, add another rectangle of green fondant, coloured slightly lighter with white and yellow fondant, to the top of the cake at an angle. Add 2 lines as markers at either end, and add on your extra bits of icing. Place your decorations on top of the cake and play with where you want to put them before sticking them down with more boiled water. As a final touch, cut wicket fence out of white fondant and stick them around the edge of the cake and add on your scoreboard and candles. Serve as part of a birthday celebration and enjoy the admiration for your work. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tuneful baking content. See you next time for another video. But in the meantime, happy baking!